Jan Wayne Swayze presents the FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to all the listeners. Jan in the building. No Mike. Shout out to Gia. Gia's in the building. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Ramel's in the building.
Jesus Christ had dread, so shake him.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm the good homie Gus, customer service, episode 155. Special guest, episode 155. If you want to introduce yourself, sir, please.
I'm Evan from Adopt Clothing.
Hey, 155. Tell us so. Yay.
Cheers.
Thank you, Evan. Second appearance on FREE99 podcast. Thank you.
First for me, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, not here for a good time, here for a long time.
Oh,
Hello.
that's the opposite way. Oh, yeah, I think I'm here for both.
I just want to say the fact that Gold-Blooded got the Warriors a win at home in San Francisco, and you were a part of that, is amazing, bro. Amazing, dude. That was
insane.
When I seen that, I felt like I was winning. Every time I seen a player wear your shirt, every time I seen the giveaways, like just on Instagram, it was surreal because it was like someone from like the hometown really did it, and they fucked with you, which was amazing. Like I don't know if you could talk about exactly what happened, but like how that conversation started. They reached out to you.
So I have a friend that actually works with the Warriors.
Dope.
And
Nice.
he became aware that, hey,
Is it Franco Finn here?
Yeah,
Right here,
he
the guy in
look
yellow.
like
it's this guy right here.
Don't make me get my shirt cannon.
So he became aware that there's gonna be a new slogan or potentially looking for a new slogan. So I mean, it just made sense. We had actually talked about that, like me and him in the past. Just how crazy would it be if some team used Gold-Blooded, and it was a perfect opportunity. And so I can't talk about the specifics of the process,
Of
but
course.
at the end of the day,
It's like,
we did it, and it was cool. And like you said, it was. I mean, I would have been, making it to round 3 or something. That's respectable. That's solid, right? But actually winning the whole thing was kind of crazy. So
Fucking sweet.
You can't speak about the details of it, so you can't talk about like any sacrificial lambs or
No deets, bro.
nothing that might have happened. Any
sacrificial lambs, like
yeah,
what
like
does that mean?
All right.
deals with like
So,
you have to sacrifice,
I mean,
any blood bonds, nothing like that.
everything was great. I mean, from my perspective, it was.
He's a Mason now, guys. He's a Mason.
Do you guys have a secret handshake?
A blood seal or something. No, it was great. I mean, as a creative, just having your product that you've worked on for so long, just be kind of shown and appreciated on this stage was it was the best possible feeling. Like I can't imagine a better feeling than that.
Yeah, I want to ask because I did my fair share of research, and I know it was in high school, I believe, that you thought that you knew you wanted your own clothing brand, and it continued over into UC Davis, right? So from those kind of start to that moment that you are now a part of something humongous, like that must have been just crazy, that feeling. Like, can you put it to words?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really put it to words. It's so the Warriors did this kind of promotional video regarding the whole collaboration, and there's a part where I walk out onto the court, and it's like all 30,000 seats have the shirts on them, and
Was it the dollar signs adding up like ching 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 ching?
I just say wow, all I can say is wow, and that's.
I actually saw that video, and if anybody listening or watching wants to see that video, just Google Evan Adapt, and I think it's Modelo, right?
Yeah, sponsored by Modelo.
Hey!
I'm like strategically working with the Modelo bottle,
But then I did. That is something that I did notice. You walk out onto the floor and you like let out this wow, but the look in your eyes was like a newborn baby deer.
Did you cry?
I shed a tear or two for sure.
I would have cried.
Was it like an ugly cry, or were you like,
Well, okay, this was like maybe in private, not maybe in the video, but yes.
Are you allowed to discuss the details
of the crying? What you were wearing when you were crying?
It was a glorious cry, so it was solid, yeah.
Like a Braveheart cry.
It was like I don't know, I can't describe what kind of cry, but it was a fulfilling cry.
If you had to
Tears of joy.
If you had to use a GIF to represent that cry.
One Tree Hill.
Is it the guy? Is it the girl from the America's Next Top Model? She's like,
Yeah, maybe that one. The only other one I can think of is the Jordan cry meme, but I just can't think of other crying memes.
Hall of Fame speech, right?
Yeah.
hey, I'm just saying, you said it. You're the Jordan of apparel.
In not so many words.
Yeah, in actually just one picture.
I think that was kind of funny because I remember, I don't know if you're able to speak about it. I remember a couple sporting organizations were really kind of after you because of how your gear is very sports friendly.
Yeah, we a lot of the stuff we do, like for the local teams and all that stuff, it's
hometown shit.
Exactly, and it's just kind of like we kind of just did it our own way, and we kind of, there was a time when we just had a lot of stuff out, and like a lot of teams were popping, and it was just, there was a lot of attention on it, and anytime you have kind of like attention, there's good attention, there's bad attention, and so, it was just working through. I mean, at this point, we're going on our 20th year, so it's been a long time.
How old are you?
Very, very old.
Come on.
So you started the company when you were what, 4?
Teen?
Yes. How can I say it without giving any indication of my age? But it's
he's running EV Tech.
I'm at least 20 years old, so there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Bare minimum. He's drinking 21. You were drinking 21.
That's
so
right.
Successful. Do you? I did watch a lot of video and what you said and how it's a lot of nostalgia that is put into a lot of the designs. So do you kind of have? I'm assuming that you have final say, if not the only designer.
Yeah, so I do 99% of the designs. The designs I don't do, I strategically partner with brands that I love. People
Kuya
that
George.
Kuya George, like dope artists like that.
Fully Laced. Shout out
Fully
to
Laced,
Hey.
John, yes sir,
Sexy.
from
John
back in the
B.
day. Yeah, and
You know John from back in the day?
well, we've been working together since back in the day. Probably maybe since as early as 07, 08, probably.
You guys were the first brands that I recognized that was local, that was on the Karmaloo. Yeah, that wasn't Casbah. That wasn't Casbah.
By the way, Karmaloo, where's our money, bro? Give me my $35.
Wait, but we were on Casbah. Or you mean our shirts were on?
Initially, you guys weren't on Casbah. There wasn't a Casbah page yet, but you guys were already on
the main
Karmaloo.
Yeah, the main store.
So to clarify, we actually were never on the main store. It was always Casbah.
Really?
Yeah. So Casbah.
I'm a fucking liar.
So with Casbah, Karmaloo, really popular streetwear site back in the day, and then Casbah was a subsection
Shout out
of
to
the site
Julian.
that focused on upcoming brands. So it's drop shipping where the brands had to fulfill themselves. Karmaloo did not buy wholesale from the brands, and this dude Blake, who he was the main buyer at the time for the Casbah. He's the guy who kind of like found the brands, and I would post on the Hypebeast forums back in the day, and it was just like, hey, check out my brand, this is our season, 07 winter or whatever, and Blake was on there, and he hit me up and was like, hey, I like your stuff, whatever. We had some back and forth. He didn't pick up the first season, but then the next one he was like, yeah, this is cool, let's go.
What was the season you picked up? Do you remember the shirts in that rotation?
It was like, I think it was our Tupac tee. So we did this tee that was it was like a silhouette of the Juice cover kind of thing, where he's in the hoodie and stuff. Yeah. And that was one of our first really popular kind of early shirts. And we did that, and there was like a couple other. There was like the Transit one, which is it's like the Sam Trans logo, but it says San Fran.
And then I saw there's like a Muni font one, right?
Yeah, we do one with DJ Umami, which was a more recent one for her logo, and then in the past we've also done one that's like the Warriors W, but just flipped, so the M, the Muni M flipped, yeah.
And again, you said 99% of these designs are done by you, if not always signed off. Yeah,
so 99%, and then typically if we do collabs, then I'll bring in other artists that are just way doper at drawing than me. Like I'm not really, I don't consider myself really a artist. I'm a designer. I manipulate text and images and stuff like that. So
you do?
Like if we're doing a drawing competition, I'm gonna probably get last place. So it's really, I make a clear distinction between like an artist and a designer.
Oh, wow, thank you for going into detail of that, but I'm just, I'm in awe that you're so hands-on with the brand, being that it's expanded so much.
Yeah, I'm super particular when it comes to the design aspects, to the aesthetics. So
you would probably know every single detail of the design.
Oh, 100%. So it's like, having partners, which was an opportunity at the time, but I decided to kind of go it alone because I wanted that full control over all the graphics. So
there was more than one person in Adapt before.
So super early on, like in college, still, a good friend of mine was going to do kind of like, he'd be the business side and I'd be the artistic side, which would have been potentially really nice, but it still would require signing off with somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm just so particular that I don't want to have to deal with that. And so, I don't really want to run all the business side of the...
That makes you an artist then.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, perhaps.
It's about shit, right?
So I just want to say, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
There are two things that stuck out to me about what we've spoken so far. Spoken of. One is that you, being a designer and not a so-called artist, know each detail of your designs. And two, that your memory is bad.
I have horrible memory.
Yeah, me too.
The
Short term
worst,
is
and
fucked.
it's only getting worse.
So I do.
It's really sad. This is not a laughing matter.
So
I feel you, bro.
So Evan, whenever we have a guest, we play a little game with them.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And I have a game for you, and it's called the Mandela Effect. Do you know what the Mandela Effect is?
I do. It's the thing where it's like, I think people say a falsity so much that you assume that it's true, but it's not actually accurate. Is that what it is?
Yeah, like the spelling of the Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
Or like,
yes.
The Luke Skywalker one you said?
Yeah, Luke Skywalker. Or what was it, Jan? Like, did you say like, Luke, I am your father?
I am your father.
It's not really that, or like
Right,
C-3PO.
right.
Yeah.
Not being fully gold and actually having a silver leg.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't know
let's-
that one. Okay.
So I have a little game for you. I did a fair share of research, and I want to see if you, my friend, have been affected by the Mandela effect.
Wow, so you've tapped into my bad memory, coupled with something that people assume is true. This is not going to end well at
And
all.
mind you, this is the first time we've ever met.
Right.
Right. Okay.
How did you know?
I know.
It's because you live a block from me. So
That's
that
I know.
mind
Sense
Yeah.
you.
Oh, you forgot already. Right?
I forgot. All right, so question number 1. On your Ashley V collab, shout out to Ashley, that's the homie. It pictures the beautiful Ashley V holding up a bowl of cereal mid-bite. Which hand is holding the spoon?
Oh, wow. So I know the picture. It was done in my kitchen. And
Shout out to your kitchen.
I'm going to say...
It's an amazing kitchen.
So if I recall correctly, her right leg is like up on the cabinet, and then her left leg is down. I think she's holding the bowl with her left hand and the spoon with the right.
I'm afraid that's incorrect.
Wow.
She is
Oh, no.
wrong one. There you go.
And I had a 50% chance, dude. That's
Yeah, it's a
that's terrible. That's terrible.
All right, so that unfortunately she was holding it with her left.
Gia, where's the support? I mean, you should remember that. they're like best friends, right?
So this is actually what led me to kind of go this route with the game. Okay, so
No, this is a great game. Even though I'm gonna fail miserably, this is a great game.
so
You're a great sport, dude.
I appreciate the creativity of the game.
in early design, possibly one of the first Adapt designs had a playful use of what button located on VCRs, remotes, and various electronics.
Okay, well, clearly I know the answer to that because it's a design that I made.
Right.
But it would be a playful use of the play button because the D is the... So it's like everything is like black, for example, and then the D is red,
Right.
representing play, like advancing, moving forward, because it's Adapt Advancement Cooperative is the full name of the brand.
Right. I do. So this is.
Thank you for an easy one.
This is actually gonna be controversial
Okay.
because I watched the Mandela video where you were drawing it out. And
Okay.
you were drawing out.
Kind of creepy. I'm sorry.
You were drawing out the slow button.
Why do you know so much about my life?
Who is this guy, Gus?
I don't feel comfortable here.
You were actually take off your jacket. Okay, so you were actually drawing the slow button with the line prior.
Oh, okay. Right. So for clarification, so the logo in reference is so Adapt, where the A, the D, the A, the P, and the T all use this triangle and kind of like the line that
Behind the
represents, like the pause button line and then like the play button triangle. So, yeah, I mean, technically it might be a slow, but
Mandela has struck
the
again.
original concept was that it was a play button. So
that's fine. That's a
Yeah.
give him.
I'm gonna give that to Evan. I'm gonna give it to him. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
No, there we go.
That's good.
Cowbell.
All right,
More
so
cowbell.
That was controversial.
How many questions do you have? Just so my man knows.
I have 4 more questions.
Okay, I apologize.
All right, so
50% so far. So let's
so
see how we do.
this question
From 3, you're good.
This question is more so about one of the artists that you collaborated with,
Okay.
Hieroglyphics,
Yes.
who also has the Souls of Mischief, a part of Hieroglyphics.
Right.
What original title of their breakout single that was created in the early 90s? What was the original title?
Side note, that was a great design. It's one of
Yeah, it
my
was.
favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Great
assuming you're referring to the song 93 Till Infinity.
Correct?
And you're saying, what is the original title of that song?
Yeah.
Now, is that like a trick question where
It
the
is,
original
yeah.
title could just be 93 Till Infinity and it's making me think that it's not? Or
It could be, but also,
Boy.
I stayed up pretty late last night looking up all this shit. So, and this is like, I mean, this.
Oh, you know what? Maybe, okay, if you're not tricking me, which I'm assuming you wouldn't because that's just evil,
Well, okay, so maybe
I would assume it's This Is How We Chill.
I love your logic. I love your critical thinking, but and this is
The butt.
A Plus who created the original beat.
And we've also done other collabs with A Plus specifically.
Did an interview with XXL and stated that the original title for the song was 91 Till Infinity.
Okay, well,
who would know that?
literally no one knows that.
No one knows that.
But it didn't drop till 93.
No. It was 93, and,
Right.
and it was a slower beat. This is just me, kind of like. I think I drank a little.
In your
too
nerd
much.
bag.
Yeah, in my nerd
All right,
bag. So-
give that to Evan. Yeah, give that to
I
Evan.
personally do not feel bad at all about not knowing that.
No,
However, it is a great factoid that I now know, so I appreciate that.
Hey, Evan, you know what?
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Fair.
All right,
Let's do
next
it.
one. This is not even like a Mandela effect. This is just another. I think these are just funny, like facts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Actually, let's
Yeah.
hear one.
The first one.
That is not a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Like that's literally just a random fact.
Random.
That's a rap nerd fact.
He's shooting
Yeah.
it from half court.
All right, so this is no longer
Randos.
called Mandela effect. This is just called random shit. Okay. Which one of these health benefits have been linked with wearing or eating gold? Is it A, increase in energy, B, a healthier digestive system, C, sharper vision, or D, improved blood circulation?
Could you repeat them?
Yes, please repeat. Thank you.
Goldschlager. Go ahead.
A is increased energy.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Energy.
But the original question is gold has been linked to.
Yeah, which one of these
Digesting,
health
yeah.
benefits
Okay.
have been linked with wearing or eating gold?
Or eating gold. Okay.
Yeah. Is it A, increased energy, B, a healthier digestive system, C, sharper vision, or D, improved blood circulation?
Let's open up a power band right now and see what metal is inside there. You guys remember power bands? No, never mind. Trying to knock me
You know,
over
it'd
in
be
the
helpful
mall.
if you had like a projector that had like
I know.
questions on it.
It was really late. I didn't have any put together a PowerPoint.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with D.
Correct.
Let's go.
D.
What was it? What was D? The
Improved blood circulation,
Oh, yeah.
which makes gold-blooded even more. It makes more fucking sense.
Wow.
You see what I'm doing here?
Full
Okay.
circle.
That was what I'm doing.
That
here,
was
dog.
very high level.
Yeah,
Very high
that
level.
Mandela effect.
All right. Calm down, Gio. Calm
Literally
down.
nothing to do with Mandela effects, but it's okay.
All right. Let me just catch my breath. All right.
We're in front of a live studio audience right now. This is kind of intense right now. I can't look that way. I'm intimidated.
Turn the camera on Gia. She loves that.
Yeah, you said that really bassy and clear. Hey, turn the camera. Okay,
As
so
creepy as I could.
this is actually the last question. Okay, how long were E40's dreads in the "Tell Me When to Go" music video?
Like the actual inch length
Come
or
on.
something?
No. I'll give you some choices.
Oh, okay.
Is it A, very short? B.
Wait, okay, that's a very... Okay. Anyways, continue.
B, shoulder length.
Okay.
C, he didn't have any dreads. Or D, up to his ears.
Oh, I know this one. I know this one. That video was amazing. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
As I recall, they're not very long in the video because he was growing them at the time, I think.
Oh.
So,
What options again?
Oh fuck! I just turned off my phone. Okay, so it is A, very short. B, shoulder length. C, he didn't have any dreads. Or D, up to his ears.
I'm going to say D, up to his ears.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake them.
So they weren't. They didn't exist. Okay.
I'm planning on growing some.
But you know, songs come out long before videos typically.
True, but the video he didn't have.
I have no excuse for not knowing that.
50%.
I have no excuse for
Well
not knowing
done,
that.
Evan.
50 shout out to
shameful.
Evan.
No, don't hate. No, you don't beat yourself up here, okay? You did amazing.
We're here to congratulate.
Yeah.
We're here to give flowers.
Yeah, we're here to give flowers.
You know, but did he not have dreads on the album cover though? I feel
No,
like
he didn't on the
did not
cover,
on the cover.
but the video he did.
No, in the video he did not. He had a
Okay,
beanie
alright.
on. I checked it.
He didn't?
Alright.
That's the Mandela effect.
That's a little more Mandela effect.
Yeah, it's a little more Mandela-y.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Good game. Great game.
Good game.
Great game.
So, you know, in doing a lot of the research, I came across a lot of like interesting things. So, for example, that you're
on the internet, sir. This is what's happening.
I found out you have a sibling. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, you said that your grandfather was a deacon,
He was a pastor.
a pastor in San Francisco.
That's right.
That's amazing. So, and you said it was in Chinatown.
That's correct.
And you know, FREE99, we do talk about food a lot. So after those visits with your grandfather, do you recall any Chinese restaurants or any restaurants in Chinatown that you would always go to?
No, of course. So the church is called FCBC. It's, if you're familiar with Chinatown, there's like the YMCA.
Yeah.
And there's like a Bank of America. It's kind of like the coordinate. It's like where those 2 points meet. It's kind of in the heart of Chinatown, and yeah, there's great restaurants. The default that we would go to is Capital, which is right around the corner.
Capital.
They're known for their salt and pepper chicken wings, which are absolutely delicious. And yeah, that was like, our family would go there every Sunday after service, and yeah, that was the spot for the most part. There was also when I was a little older, like with my friends after like Sunday school, we would go to Little Paris, which is the banh mi place on Stockton. That was delicious.
What's your go-to banh mi at Little Paris?
It was barbecue pork, as I recall. It was $2.35 at the time.
Do you do
It's
extra
amazing.
pate like me?
I don't think I did extra pate at the time, no.
Yeah, me
like,
neither.
I didn't think I have the palate for pate at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've since obviously grown to enjoy it.
But yeah, I think pate, there are certain things as a child that doesn't make sense, right? Mm-hmm. Potted meat, which is pate.
There was also a McDonald's that is no longer there. It was on Grant and I think Clay.
Didn't
It was
that
on the
have
corner.
that had like the Ronald McDonald inside the McDonald's, didn't it? Like it was like a statue of him sitting on a.
I don't know. I don't think
bench,
that had
no?
that, but it was cracking
very
though. That
specific.
it was super
very
crowded
specific.
every Sunday. Yeah, they had that was when like McFlurries had just it was amazing. It was great. They had the Arch Deluxe that I used to get that
Arch
a lot.
Deluxe. That was like the leveled up McDonald's.
It
Were they still doing like the fish fillets in the blue box?
So I'm not a huge fan of fish fillet. I know that it's a loved and storied product, but not for me.
Is it because they're like the only sandwich that puts cheese on fish?
Half a slice of cheese.
Whoa,
Half a slice of
All right, I'm
cheese.
sorry.
I'm not like a fish and chips guy. Like I don't really like breaded fish, which I realize is popular.
Do
But
you like a good Branzino?
a what now?
I don't know that.
He's from Double XL. No, he's from The Source.
Oh, benzene. I was like,
Yeah,
what does that have to do with
M&M,
the fish fillet?
I think Branzino was like I don't know. It's like they serve it at like Italian restaurants. It's like a flat fish. But I guess whenever you cook, with fish,
No
it's flat,
idea.
yeah.
No
But
idea
You
what
know,
that
so
is.
do you like fish or just not?
I
breaded
love fish. I love fish.
Just not like boneless, like.
Yeah, I don't like because it has like the fakeness to it. I like fresh. Like I love sushi. I love
with that.
essentially any other form of fish. But
that.
yes.
You know, sushi's been kind of weird to me. Can you tell like a quality sushi spot from like Safeway Sushi? And what are those traits that you can tell?
I mean,
definitely can.
Yes. One can.
Teach me.
Definitely can.
I mean, I think it's just the numminess of the fish. I don't know.
The color, the rice.
Oh, yeah.
the freshness. I mean, there's just like the cut is a huge part, right? Like you want to get the right cut of the fish.
Do you have like a go-to sushi spot?
So there's like it's like it sort of depends like the quality that I want at the time. So just a casual go-to place. When I was living in the Sunset, it would be Noriega Teriyaki, which is on I think 24th and Noriega. Great.
Jan agrees with that. Did you see that?
There we go. There, see.
There's a nod. Yeah.
But you know, just quick casual place, but it's not, you know, you wouldn't consider it fancy or necessarily high end.
It's not like a Kura.
Exactly, right. So
I fuck with Kura tough.
And then what's that place on 9th and Irving? It's
9th and
Ibisu. So that's a good. It's a little higher end. That's a good spot.
Is that like $100 omakase or something?
No, it's not to that level. I don't really go to like super high end Japanese just because my palate is probably not refined enough to distinguish between like high and like ultra high. See? Or at least the cost does not warrant the difference to me. So.
I thought he said Ibisu like the jeans. I was like, exactly, dog. The painted jeans. Each plate, they come with a free set of jeans with each plate.
That'd be a great value. Yeah.
What's your go-to dim sum?
Ooh.
Sit down and then like just like counter service.
Wait, Gia.
Oh, Gia.
I'm gonna say Dim Sum Club on Terraville simply because Gia and I were there literally 4 hours ago.
Word.
But I'm actually not a big dim sum guy. I grew up.
Damn, fish fillet and dim sum. That's like 50% of our audience.
Yeah, so like my family or like so my mom's side is Cantonese, and I don't know that this is for every Cantonese family, but like we grew up eating like the more dish style where it's like family style large dishes as opposed to individual dim sum plates. So that's just what I grew up eating, and that's my proclivity is to eating that type of Chinese food. But I'll absolutely eat dim sum whenever it's available. You know, friends like Gia love to eat dim sum, so I'll join them whenever.
Did you have like because like, you know, you lived in Fairfield and you went to school in Davis. Did you have like a go-to Chinese spot over there?
In Davis? Yeah. So I did, but it's not like respect. I mean, it's not like something that's considered.
So it's Panda?
No, it's not Panda. So I think it was this place called Ding Hao.
And they had Mr. Chow's.
They had I am a fan of what do you call it?
Like hot delis?
No, the
I got really excited. Sorry about that.
The Rangoon, the crab and cheese Rangoon, which is a very non-authentic Chinese
like
dish.
American Chinese food.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely delicious.
Like
and
orange chicken.
They did a good Rangoon, very stuffed with the cheese and then the crab and stuff. But that was my go-to when I was in Davis. Yeah.
So you went to high school in Fairfield. Did Mr. Miyagi go to your high school? Pat Morita, because Pat Morita is from Fairfield.
Yeah. I think possibly. I can't recall. You know that bad memory that I mentioned earlier.
Speaking of Mandela effect, it's called filet. It's called fish fillet, not fillet of fish.
What did I say?
No, I'm talking about myself. I fucked that up.
Wait, is it not called filet of fish?
I think it's called fish fillet.
But literally everyone says filet of fish, don't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
What'd she order?
That's a legit Mandela
fish fillet.
Effect.
Oh yeah, what'd she order? Filet o fish.
So it don't sound right. Fish fillet.
Kanye was onto something over there.
Where are you on? What are your thoughts on Kanye in general?
Kanye. So, you know, growing up, I think I first heard Kanye in, I guess it would be the end of high school.
Yeah.
You know, he was coming up. That was it the College Dropout? Was that the first album?
Yeah.
So super classic. You know, the sped up soul sample thing. He totally just created an ode to that. He had such a unique voice. Always super outspoken. And you know, ever since then, it's hit and miss. I don't love everything he does. I think some of the music that he makes is great. Some of it not really my taste.
But it grows on you for some reason, right?
And you know, as a producer, you know, he's one of the most creative, I would say, for sure.
Yeah,
you know, and then in regards to his antics as of late, I mean, he's
definitely don't approve of that.
I mean, I think it's known that he's sort of bipolar and kind of has sort of some mental issues. So I think it's kind of in line with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that it's right or good, but
or like exactly. It doesn't justify.
Yeah, he obviously needs some sort of assistance in that way, but I don't know how that's going to end up. I mean, obviously he must be aware of the ramifications of him losing, whatever, Adidas, Balenciaga, all the different collaborations that he has.
Even all like the all of the people in the fashion industry.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's just sort of a pariah now, so it's kind of like I'm sure he's reevaluating what his position on certain topics.
So speaking of music, do you like when you design, do you have like a certain type of music that you listen to, or like how is what's that process like, or do you even like listen to music like that?
Yeah, so I love music. I love most genres of music. I think when I'm designing, because I tend to listen, like if there are lyrics involved, like I pay attention to what they're saying, and it kind of distracts me. So I usually listen to instrumental stuff or more kind of down tempo, like kind of chill, lo-fi hip hop. Yeah, which used to be called like chill out or down tempo or whatever. But
down tempo, right.
Yeah. So
that YouTube channel is amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing.
Mad at it too, because it's like they have remixes of everything, and you even just kind of recognizing what this song should be, but it's like the down tempo or lo-fi version. You're like, that's great.
And the cat never moves. Sorry.
Yeah, never moves.
Yeah, I love that type of music, or just anything that's kind of instrumental or just a little bit more chill is typically what I listen to if I'm designing. Yeah.
So 20 years of designing, do you have any one single design that you're like, oh man, I could have done better, or like obviously you have hits, it's not
your greatest hits is
it's easy to say.
You have a greatest hits album, for sure.
Is there one that like you doesn't sit well with you?
Does it sit well with me from a design standpoint, or from like how was it received by people standpoint?
More of a design versus like how it was received.
Ooh, I want to answer to both, because received is because Evan wouldn't put stuff out unless he loved it.
Right.
Like, I feel like as a designer, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't put it out into the masses unless you gave it your stamp. Like, yeah, this is ready. So like, on things that weren't received well, like do you recall a design?
But even if it, like from a design aspect, right? Yeah. You'd be like, oh man, like I'm just gonna push this out, and then it could be received well, and you're like, oh. Right.
So I mean, the first designs that I did, horrible graphic. So early on, of course, in the first couple of years, the designs were just not good. I mean, I wasn't nearly as apt of a designer as I grew into, so it's kind of like, clearly some of those are just like, I would never do that today.
I don't know.
That's finding your lane too, though. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah, it is finding your lane.
That I like a lot.
It was all a dream. Come on, man. That was a hot one. That never got reproduced.
That one I do like. I think there's certainly one that like. So my aunt, so like she's my main kind of like shipping manager, customer service. She's amazing. Carol, if anyone knows her, she's just
shout out to your aunt.
She's an amazing woman. Yes, Auntie Carol's amazing.
Auntie Carol.
So
dim sum on us.
She always makes fun of me of design, but we did this one. I think it was in 07, 08. It was it said Mad Bliss, and it was like a flip off of like the Mad Libs logo. And it was just a super corny looking graphic, because the Mad Libs logo itself is corny looking.
Yeah, right.
So I just thought it was clever at the time. It did not sell well. I made a purple shirt of it that didn't sell well.
Oh, that sounds like late 2000s.
Yes, it was when just the big, full, colorful graphic thing was popping.
That's when the grapes came out, right? Everything was kind of like sneaker-based, sneaker.
And it was just, in hindsight, it was just a really bad graphic. So I think that one is definitely up there for bad graphics. And then in terms of like received by people, I think, so like a lot of the time there's stuff that I think it's a super dope idea, right? But it's just not commercially viable per se. And so that happens all the time. And I don't know that there's one in particular that like people didn't like, but we've had plenty of designs over the years that people didn't like. I mean, I kind of created this timeline of all of the designs that we did. It took like 2 weeks to do, and we're at almost like, I think 600 graphics now. So clearly many of those that you've never seen are like shit graphics. So
are you gonna release this though? Because I'd like to see that timeline.
Yeah, actually, so on that note, so I am
Is there a book coming?
Yeah. So
Is there a book coming?
Let's go.
So breaking news here.
So the book is
FREE99
done.
exclusive.
The book is done. My mom is finishing edits. She's taking forever.
Shout out to Auntie.
And yeah, so with the book, I'm actually including the timeline of the graphics because I think people
That's kind of sick.
people certainly have not seen like many of them, probably because they didn't sell or whatever. But I think it's just interesting to show the progression of the brand,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
just all the little nuances of literally every graphic we've ever done. So
Well, I mean, like, just by showing the timeline, right? It shows the growth or the eye as well, right? Just being the designer.
yeah, absolutely, right? So
Yeah.
it shows progression of like styles. I mean, even like colorways, just everything, right?
Yeah,
It's interesting.
Was it Mad Chill?
Mad bliss.
Mad Bliss all the way
Mad
to
Bliss.
Gold Blooded.
Why do you have to bring up that again? That is not to be
Misfits
repeated.
was a classic one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Misfit was a huge one. I mean, Misfit came out October of 2020. 2010. So that was, if you recall, the Orange October
Yes.
when the Giants won that first championship. So that hit at just the right time. You know, we had the SF State of Mind graphics. That was our first big Giants graphic, and
Killer.
then Misfit followed up, and that was really kind of cemented the whole Giants vibe.
So do you? Just a question. Do you kind of like associate dates and kind of like feelings and things that happen with certain
shirts?
designs? Yeah, because that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the reason that even despite the bad memory, I'm pretty familiar with some of these graphics is because in creating the book, it's very much a chronological account of the brand and the graphics. So I actually
600
had
designs?
to figure out when the stuff came out and what was the purpose of it and why was it important and stuff like that. So So most designs actually are associated with either a moment in time or a certain feeling or whatever. So
Did you? How long have you been working on this book?
it's been a while.
600 designs, bro.
20 years, dog. Next
Fuck,
question.
Rommel, keep up.
It started so back in 2016 I got sick and then I had a lot of free time on my hands.
Yeah, that's what
and so
I was at.
started doing the book then, and it's just been, there were multiple years when I wasn't doing anything, so it's just kind of like, but then I picked it up and then it was supposed to be out before, but then the Warriors thing, so I'm like, okay, I can't get that out,
Right.
So at that point I decided to extend it, and now we're pretty much near the finish line though.
No, I love that because it's like and that's what I was kind of alluding to with the whole sickness and everything and how you overcame that, right? But being kind of in that position makes you want to kind of gather all of the work that you've done, right, and look at it as a full body of work, and kind of like it's hard when you're kind of living in the moment,
Absolutely, yeah.
But if you kind of put it all together and take a step back, and you're able to kind of see the growth and see everything, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think just because of the amount of time that I've been doing the brand, and I think most people, to your point, it's like you're doing it and things are moving quickly and you don't actually ever stop to reflect. It's like,
Right.
hey, this is kind of cool, like the stuff that we did. So I think I wanted to get that into kind of this chronological thing before. I mean, the main thing is literally just forgetting what happened. It's like, oh yeah, I can't remember, we did something with this. So actually getting that on paper is important, I think, because you just get busy and you move on and you forget.
Right.
And then,
That's
I
why
think
easier taking pictures.
that's right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just get this down before I either lost interest or just kind of forgot. So I think that was the major impetus to wanting to get the book together. Yeah.
Gold-blooded aside, do you have a favorite design personal?
I do. So it's the dot matrix graphic. So it's the one that's like, it's supposed to look like Mickey Mouse, but there's like these 10 dots.
And you had Priscilla, the model that one.
Yes, Priscilla. That's right. So
was
that's
a long
a super
time.
old graphic. So that came out, I
Yeah.
think, in 08, 09, and we still run it. But I think the reason I like that graphic is because
Clever as fuck.
I like simplicity. I like telling a lot using a little. Like the minimal amount of whatever to get the message across. So that's one of the few designs that literally, like, and this is tested, like a 5-year-old knew what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my late grandfather, who was like 92, also knew what it was. And it's very rare that you can achieve that, right, in a graphic, because it might be some type of pop culture thing or something, but because of the universality of that graphic, I think I found that really interesting.
Yeah, just being able to kind of like strike that chord on all ages.
Right.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, you've been through a lot, man, and just the body of work again. I remember kind of doing my research, trying to come up with all the questions, and I found myself stuck, just kind of like admiring the work that's been done.
You had a lot of home runs, dog.
Yeah.
You had a lot.
20 years, you're about to hit a couple.
Come on. There's grand slams in there, but a lot of home runs.
No, appreciate that.
No, and it's almost to a point where this motherfucker did it again. It's like your body of work was like the weigh-ins. Like, there's another weigh-in. Like, every time I seen the product come out, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Warriors thing, like I'm satisfied with the work that we've done. As a designer, I feel proud of the stuff we've done. We've had really amazing customers over the years. We've done a lot of cool stuff, a lot of great collaborations with great people, and so it's like I was done. Like I'm happy with where we're at. And then when that happened, it was just like this is amazing, and that's why it was just so crazy to me. Yeah.
I mean, so you're content with how everything is, and you're kind of like on how. Like,
yeah, I think in doing the brand, there were a couple sort of milestones that I had in my head. It's like, this is what I want to achieve with the brand.
Mm-hmm.
This is what will make me feel fulfilled as a creative person, as someone who wants to put product out there. For example, one of my milestones was getting in True in San Francisco.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Mike Brown.
Shout out to Mike Brown. I mean, he created the whole. I mean, he was a big part of the whole streetwear thing in San Francisco. And like, I used to go there when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. Like, my parents would drop you over there after church. Yeah. Like, I would pick up all my favorite brands, Alphanumeric, LRG, like all this stuff, and like, yeah, 555 Soul, and like, just to be, and it was always just like the mecca of, and they sold the brand mecca, but it was the mecca of like streetwear to me. Like, it was everything cool about clothing at that time, and then to actually have product in that store, which I know you guys did as well.
Shout out to Hero.
Did you have product in this?
Yeah,
shout out to Hero.
Hero was the homie, man.
Was amazing. I mean, he was like the gatekeeper.
Yeah, it was.
I talk about that extensively in the book. Also, it's just like I was so nervous, showing him the line sheet, and he's like, I don't show me what you got next time. And it's just like, but then when we did it, it was amazing. So that was like a personal one for me. And so there are just a couple, milestones along the way that I wanted to hit, and I feel like I hit most of those, the stuff that I personally wanted to do, and that's it, so. I
mean, I don't know if you know this, but I had a streetwear brand as much as Gus did, right? We kind of all were, and I mean, that was early. What was 2000? It was Finally Hip. It was me and my homie PB. Chicago. Shout out to PB.
Shout out PB.
Motherfucker. And so, but the thing is that, I mean, we all can admit that streetwear is not the same as where it was in the late 2000s.
It was so fun in the 2000s.
So fun.
It was like, now it's like business, but back 2000s when we're young and we're hungry and we're just putting all ourselves out there, it was so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so much fun.
But it's like, I mean, that has to be a milestone as well. It's like when the dust has settled from kind of like streetwear either affiliating themselves with quote unquote higher fashion or whatever, or them just kind of dwindling off, you and your brand stood tall,
consistent as fuck,
and
dog.
Fucking stood the test of time. That is fucking crazy. I mean, that's foresight, right? Like John, for example, from Fully Laced.
Shout out to John.
John B. John's the guy.
He is the guy.
He's killing it in the vintage game right now. By the way, vintage dead stock.
I mean, he just sold like how many boxes?
He's got the goods. If you want that dead stock, I was on ILM, Disney. He's got Marvel. He's got it all.
Did you hear the story behind that, by the way?
Yes, I did.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Also, fun.
You gotta have John on this if you haven't already.
He always I saw him.
Fuckers always selling shirts. He doesn't have time to come sit down.
Too busy making money.
Yeah,
right. Like, very John of him.
I'm like, all right, well, just keep it up when you go back. He's like, I'm leaving for 3 years.
I'll be in Hawaii.
And also, fun fact, John is he's amazingly good at Bomberman. I used to play him back in the day when we were kids, and he's
Bomberman?
He's a fucking cheater.
Super Bomberman or just regular Bomberman?
I think just all men who
all the
carry
Bombermen.
bombs, yeah.
I'm okay at Minesweep.
Oh, Minesweeper.
Mandela.
Yeah, but I mean, like, John had the foresight to, you know, and he had the shops on Portola. He had the shops at fucking
Stonestown.
I mean, he was doing the vintage stuff long before it was a thing.
True.
Or as
1,
big
2, 3
as it is now.
snapback.
And
that's right.
And then that foresight to just kind of like take it all online and, you know, no longer have that overhead.
That kind of broke my heart when he closed Fully Laced.
Yeah.
At Stonestown, because when you went
That
to
was
that
iconic.
mall,
Yeah. I mean, shit, it broke my heart when they closed Mr. Rags and Ceremony, too.
Mr. Rags.
I don't think, Gio wasn't around back then. Sorry. You look young.
what is your connection with alphanumeric?
Alphanumeric. That's the one. So
Yeah.
Alphanumeric to me is the best brand ever created.
Ever.
Wait, did you know that, or was that just a fucking? Okay, somebody did that.
Yeah, we must have talked about that. So I'm like, why would you randomly bring up this obscure brand?
I'm over here looking up on the internet.
I think I probably talked about it in the last one.
Cybertech.
But, yeah. So
what are your thoughts about clear cameras?
well, Cybertech's amazing too. But so Alyosha Owerka-Moore is.
Say it again.
Alyosha Owerka-Moore. So he's a designer for Alphanumeric. They were out from '98 through 2001. That was the original run. But he
Wow, that was only 3 years.
I think he was the original.
'98 to 2001.
Yeah, but then they came back.
Yeah.
So they redid it actually 3 times. But so that brand was a big inspiration for me wanting to start a clothing brand. Their stuff was just super dope, ahead of its time, like very forward-thinking graphics, and their patterns were just crazy on their jackets and outerwear. They were kind of like skate, snow, hybrid.
Was that also like symmetry that like kind of appeals to you?
Yeah, I mean,
clean lines.
Their whole aesthetic, like they used a lot of like ripstop and just kind of like grids. And he, there was a time that I interviewed him, and he basically was like, he took from like Evangelion, the anime, like. That's how we got inspirations for like the patterns, like crazy stuff like that you wouldn't even think of. So that was massive for me. That was by far, my favorite brand. I collect like tons of that stuff. So I just have like those yellow bins you have over there. I have just piles of it.
Do you have like I mean, obviously the business is successful. Do you have any kind of like extravagant purchases like
Alphanumeric collectively?
So
like, what's one that you made and you're like, oh fuck, like
buyer's remorse?
Yeah.
So I'm not like a particularly extravagant person. Like, so there are certain things that I like. So I like clothes. I have
Eddie Bauer jackets.
A lot. I like EbTech. I'm a big fan of certain brands. So clothes. The most I've ever spent on clothing was. So back when I was in high school, when I found out about Alphanumeric, I spent I think $350 for a jacket, which at that time was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's like $3,000 these days.
That's like a Woolwear jacket that's
My mom,
zippered.
like she had to help me. Like we had to talk to the get a discount from the clerk. But like so that was a big one. I bought there's something called Alphanumeric Dunks, which are
the gray and black, the gray and white ones, right?
Yeah. So there's the lightning, and then there's the I forgot what I think it's called grip tape, the actual colorway. But
you have Dunks on right now. Are those?
I am wearing Dunks.
Are those SBs?
Yes, they are.
These I don't actually know what these are even called. I think I got them like at what's the shop that was on Haight? I don't think they're there anymore.
DLX?
No.
Across the street was
the
they're pretty close to True. I'm blanking on memory.
True,
there you go.
True Soul.
Not True Soul.
It was a skate shop, right?
It was across the street then.
No, it wasn't really a skate shop. It was just a shoe shop. I'm just blanking on the name. But
okay.
They had another spot in the Mission. It was
It's
you know what I'm talking about.
it's with the dinosaur on the front.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do that.
You know what I'm talking
about.
Yeah. Anyways, I got them there like when Dunks were like not popular. So I think they were just like really deeply discounted, and
I got the same ones at Ross.
Yeah,
just saying.
Okay, yeah, there you go. It's probably around the same time.
Yeah.
But it's usually just like
fresh
like clothes that you kind of like.
Clothes are my main thing. Let's see, what else am I into?
Do you have like waves of things that you kind of get into, like kimonos one day and then the next day? Like...
No, so back to the whole nostalgia thing, which is a sort of baseline for a lot of the adapt graphics that I do is I just love stuff that I grew up wearing, stuff that kind of informed my own style. So, like, even some random, like, Nike windbreaker that I remember having when I was, like, 15, I look for it extensively on, like, eBay and, like, all these sites.
Did you find it?
Oh, for sure. And so I'm been able to find most of the kind of iconic stuff that I had as a kid.
Yeah.
So that's always a fun thing.
That's
for
lucky
me to
you're
do.
still the same size from high school.
And the crazy, that's another
helps.
episode. But
Fillet of fish.
I mean, that's like I feel that because there's I remember the back of like East Bay catalogs, right?
Oh, East Bay, wow.
Do you remember the Air Adjust? The Air Adjust are the Nikes that used to come out where they had interchangeable straps.
Yeah, the size.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, the one that's like the Y-shaped
Yes.
strap.
Yeah.
And they never retro them until recently.
What is that style of shoe called again?
It's like it's a
Basketball shoe.
Yeah, it's a
No, but I
basketball
mean,
shoe.
what was the
Air
actual?
Adjust. The Air
Oh,
Adjust.
Air Adjust. I see.
Shitty.
Yeah,
It was a shitty shoe.
But recently,
There's a white
Those
one and a
were
black
crazy.
one.
yeah, recently I don't think it's acronym. It's another like fashion brand that collabed with Nike that released the Air Adjust.
Wow.
But it's like all fashioned up.
So as I recall with those, the problem was the strap that runs underneath. It would get all messed up
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you're
it's like
stepping on the
plastic.
strap.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Step on dog shit.
But it was the concept of it was amazing.
It was cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you get interchanged. Would I say another goal line for you would probably be doing a Nike collab?
I mean, that would be amazing, but seems not attainable, really. Like, I don't.
How about an alphanumeric collab?
That would be.
He wants to buy them
super
out.
amazing.
Buy
You
them
know,
out.
that would be a dream of mine. But I think they're not currently operating, so it's just like I don't know how that would work. But yes, that would be awesome. Yeah.
That's like the fucking dream, right?
I mean, they're literally the reason that I'm in the clothing business, probably. So
Sheesh.
Damn.
What's the most used font you use? Is it Helvetica?
oh, by far. I mean, our logo is in Helvetica. So separate of the logo itself, probably. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. You hear that, Comic Sans? Go fuck yourself.
Comic Sans.
Have not used Comic Sans on a single
Wait,
graphic.
Gothic, wingding, fuck you, wingding.
Okay. Anybody who's on Instagram utilizing the Comic Sans font, don't. All right. That's just. It's not.
It's fine.
Yeah, unless you're, I don't know, drawing a comic in your stories, use the Comic Sans. But other than that, that's just.
That is a universally disliked font among designers, for sure.
Yeah. You might as well just use Wingdings.
Do you have a favorite collab?
Ooh.
Was it Cap? Was it E40? Was it
coming out?
Was it
You know what?
True?
99?
No, actually, probably 93 Till. The Hyro collab.
That wasn't a collab yet, though, right? When you first released it, it was just you.
It was Hyro and Souls of Mischief.
Check me, I'm wrong.
Well, the bird though, the bird that was used on that's
Yeah, so
that was like on when I close my eyes, I see it like on a flyer.
yeah, so we incorporated that into a lot of the different graphics. The whole original purpose of that was like growing up in Chinatown. There's like pigeons everywhere and stuff like that. So that was the idea there. But
You know what? See that just that level of thought into the design. Come on, man. Pat
yeah,
yourself on the back.
it's I try to be thoughtful about the stuff we do, right? Because so if you look at the actual graphics, there's not a lot going on typically. So it's like it should have some intrinsic meaning, or like I like to have like double meaning sometimes and stuff. So it's like how much can I pack into like a little space? That's generally my feeling.
Whenever
That's
you
how I feel
mention
like when I ride,
pigeons,
like a Mini Cooper.
Exactly.
I think about that SF logo with all the pigeons on top.
Oh yeah. That's a good pull. That's an old one.
Was that the second wave?
Oh, so
was probably-
that one was probably 08, 07, 08. So we did, it was like basically the Giants logo with just all these pigeons all
Yes.
over it. And we ended up doing like, our first true collab was the true graphic with the pigeons all over it. So it was the same.
That's right.
Same concept. But that was one of the early like kind of sports or like Bay Area themed graphics that we did.
That true collab you did, that was they had it lined up with a bunch of other brands. I think Crooks was one.
Yes.
Diamond was one.
That's kind of like what digital was it Digital Underground or something? They did something similar. Right?
Yeah, so I believe that was it was called Native Leagues. Didn't you guys do something with them too?
Yes.
We did the second round. Like we didn't make that one.
Right? Benny Gold was on it, right?
BG, yeah.
I think like all the local brands like were on there, and
but us.
But our okay, well you did plenty of time with them separately of that, so I don't feel bad for you. But,
not an adapt.
But
gosh, guys.
that collab was different. That one said Summer of Love. It was stacked 3, and then it was like the SF, same as the State of Mind. The SF were highlighted. So
the last one you did was like an outline of the Giants SF. Or like a shadow, or like an eclipse.
Yes, the Eclipse series that we do. So the Eclipse series is like all these different graphics we do, where it's basically like kind of the shadow of the graphic, and that's been popular for us.
So if you wanted to do like a collaboration, like a hometown collaboration, it would be with like, I'm trying to think of Fairfield right now, like Fuddruckers.
What?
No, Fairfield. Ooh, there's a lot of. See, I'm not gonna blow up the spot of the Fairfield spots that I go to because I don't want people to go.
Oh, yo, that's.
But if I drop the collab, it'll come out. So.
Name one.
No, after.
But I'm not gonna name one that I really would. Oh no.
Is it Fuji?
Fuji's is in Vacaville.
Is it
That's right,
favelas? Because that's what I see when I'm stuck in traffic over there.
So I'm trying to think of the old spots like I used to go to. I mean, so.
Would you say
I'm not gonna
love Fairfield though? You love Fairfield.
I don't necessarily love Fairfield, but I appreciate everything.
I appreciate the flats
that I gleaned from Fairfield growing up, the people that I know there. But I mean, I would probably never move back. But it's
you don't have one 707 shirt.
You know, I'm trying to think if we did anything like the best 707 graphic is the one where it's the 007 flip. So it's 707 with the 007, and it's like you can't top that. Yeah. That's the best graphic.
Take it home. That's all.
When I was in high school, like they would sell like vinyls of that at like the smoke shops.
Yes. Shirt and a tall tee, please.
Exactly. And so you can't. I mean, that's the best Fairfield shirt. So we did do a Marine World Afro USA flip. Though.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
What did it say?
We did. So we kind of just took the old logo and kind of outlined it. We didn't really do much creatively with it, but I just basically used the logo and people liked it. So
I have a question for the two of you, or even the two of you over there, Gia and Jan. So when you're driving back to the city from Fairfield, right, and you're like passing Marine World or Six Flags, there's that Chinese restaurant that you kind of see.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about. I've never been there. Never been there.
If anybody who's listening or watching, please, what's the name of that spot, and is it any good?
It's in Vallejo, though.
They have a very prominent sign.
Yeah, they
that's
do.
Why everybody knows it's there.
Right here, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you see me. Yeah,
that's a good pull though, because when I was a kid, I was like, I wonder if that's any good, and just never stopped there ever.
Yeah. Man, so you were like basically all over the place. Davis.
So you would never move back to Fairfield, huh?
Well, my parents have a place in Suisun City, which is right next to Fairfield. Really nice spot. I think the main thing is just that my community and business is out here. So
yeah,
feel it.
Unless there was some particular reason, I wouldn't. Not that I'm against it. It's just like
yeah. Real quick though, do you have a favorite go-to spot in Daly City?
Ooh, so
blow them up.
Is it Boston Market? That's like right down the street.
Is it Phil-Am? I love Phil-Am.
You do? You know what?
I do love Phil-Am.
I think the last episode was the only episode that you didn't mention Phil-Am.
I thought about it the whole time though.
What do you love in Phil-Am?
Oh, gee.
You like Phil-Am?
I do.
Yes.
What is like your go-to?
G is a big foodie, so she could talk about
a lot
of this stuff.
Are you a big foodie?
I am.
I hate skinny foodies.
I just have bad memories. I don't remember like the name of the restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite dim sum spot? Is it
Gia's favorite dim sum?
Hong Kong on Gary, but they closed down during COVID.
What's what about Good Luck? Do you like Good Luck?
I'll Clement.
I mean, I live like a couple blocks. It's okay.
So I recently found
it's reasonably priced.
Gia is very discerning.
I recently found a dim sum spot on Ocean. But the only thing that separates this dim sum spot from other dim sum spots is that they take credit card.
Hey!
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Give me this. I'm like, brah, 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 brah. And
I fuck with Grand Palace, though.
Grand Palace.
Grand Palace.
In South City?
Yeah.
Shout out to JT Eaton.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, their family owns that shit.
And I fuck with Koi Palace, but it's hella expensive.
I was actually gonna say that was the Daly City spot, but other than price, it's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is there such like an expensive dim sum spot next to such a shitty gym?
I'm paying for a waterfall right now.
Yeah, I might as well just went to Outback.
I didn't know that gym was so bad, but then I hopped on Yelp before I signed up, and I said, "Oh, this is not the spot."
Hey, bro, you know what? I just lift in my garage. If you ever want to just.
Okay.
All right.
It's getting creepy. I apologize.
Is this the garage though? Because it's pretty packed. It doesn't seem like an ideal.
It's CrossFit.
situation.
It's lifting boxes.
There's
It's
an elliptical in the
CrossFit.
back.
It's CrossFit.
So do you have any? You're a foodie, right? You love food. I love food.
Talking to Gia.
It looks more apparent on me than you.
Hello.
Do you have a go-to spot in every Bay Area or Peninsula city? That's the question. If I were to say like Daly City, you'd be like,
She definitely does.
If I take a minute to think about it, I probably do.
Okay, let's try that.
But
San Bruno.
San Bruno. See, I don't really San Bruno. Oh, see, I don't know
Toto's?
the names.
Morning Wood.
No.
Ooh, they closed down that shit.
I know when it was there.
Yeah, Morning Wood was good.
I think it was Taqueria San Bruno. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
shit.
Taqueria San
Yo,
Bruno.
no.
Yes,
Since
but
Gia said Taqueria San Bruno,
Yes.
yo, I fucks with you.
Yes, that is the
Yeah,
one.
'cause that's-
Yeah.
So I love Taqueria San Bruno. I have to convince everyone because they're like, the Taqueria in San Bruno. And I'm like, shut up.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. If you look at the wall at Taqueria San Bruno, one of the few taquerias that is Michelin recognized. Not rated.
Not
but
rated.
recognized.
It's recognized. Yeah.
Michelin basically said, oh, I see y'all. And then they walked away.
Rolling Pin Donuts? That's not on your San Bruno hit list? Rolling Pin Donuts?
Do you like donuts, Evan?
Yeah, I do. I do like donuts.
What's your favorite donut? On three. 1, 2, 3.
your Krispy Kreme?
Evan.
Is that basic?
No,
Is that
man.
not?
But you don't like filet of fishes, but you fuck with Krispy Kreme donuts?
You're like no breaded fish.
Okay, so the reason I like Krispy Kreme is because
Y'all are doing a collab?
that'd be amazing.
That'd be nice.
Because I don't, traditional donuts are much denser, and then the sugar to dough ratio is not the same. Whereas Krispy Kreme, because I'm essentially pre-diabetic, I love the sugar, and so
Come on.
Krispy Kreme, you're just getting more sugar for your money.
I just met you, but I just want to carry you around because I feel smarter around you. I don't know. Do you give that?
Was that intelligent when I said?
Yeah, because you're like the ratio and the density.
Well, okay.
And it makes sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because I'll just be like, give me a French cruller, right? Because it's like it feels good in my mouth or something. Like
Do you
that.
remember
So,
when
it makes sense, man.
I think it was the Booger Kids or it was
Yes.
they had a food truck that
Yes.
did the donut hamburgers.
Yeah, so that was called Dough Truck.
Dough Truck.
And that was Mike Booger and Ryan Breezy. Shout out to them. They're good friends. And their claim to fame was Mark Zuckerberg came to eat there. I think they were parked on Facebook campus and he came out and...
The photo was
Tried well.
from the truck and he was...
So this is a fun fact.
Fun fact.
I have another fun fact.
Oh, let's get it, Gia.
Let's go, Gia.
Ladies first. Chivalry's
So,
not dead.
Krispy Kreme. Do you guys know that when the Krispy Kreme sign is flashing, it means they're giving out free donuts because it's like fresh.
Hot and fresh. When the hot and
glazed
fresh.
donut.
But they're free though?
But they're,
Well, yeah, one free one.
One free one. Yeah.
Do they still do that? I feel like that's an
Yes.
old thing though. They still do that.
No, that's the same. That's the
I
same
just-
business plan as a
yeah,
drug
like
dealer,
few
guys.
weeks ago.
First one's free. Second one, I'm drinking
No,
trouble.
you're right, Gia, because my fat ass went there recently because it's down the street and I did get a free one. I'll order like...
Flashing, right?
Yeah, can I get 2 dozen? And then can I get, because the hot and fresh sign is up, you'll get a free donut. Only glaze though, but that's just amazing.
No,
When it's
glaze?
hot, it
Come on.
melts.
All right, so so you're a Krispy Kreme connoisseur, right? How long do you heat it up in the microwave?
Ooh,
This is
powerful
the
powerful
topic.
question.
Gia,
These are the deep
This is-
thoughts that we have.
Yeah. So what is it? Is it 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds?
It's literally like 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah,
It's an
anything
off
past 10,
number.
it's melted.
Right.
No, it burns your mouth.
You have to keep the integrity of the
Yeah,
donut.
you're drinking your donut,
it's a
sir.
delicate
donut.
Not that that would actually be bad. It's just not preferred.
I'm sure there's a food truck trying to figure out the whole like science of drinking your donut right now.
Speaking of which, San Bruno, all the Angelica food truck tacos, that's my son yelling, all the Angelica food truck tacos, if parked in front of the 76 gas station, smack it.
Yes, that's the one right in front of
Angelicas.
Yes,
Angelicas, and they're like $1.25, and they're really good. That carne asada is really good. So
Recession.
You know where you can get the best burrito in the city?
Shit. Hey, throw a mic at Gia. Come on.
Yeah.
So,
Gia, you should just take my place right here.
La Taqueria on Mission.
Yeah.
Have you guys have the El Dorado?
And that's when they grill it. They grill it and fry. Come on.
No?
Yes.
And like the meat is like very well seasoned.
Yes.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah.
Portion is just like the right.
La Taqueria shits on a lot of taquerias. Like taco wise, because you get the crispy tacos too.
Better than Guads?
Better than.
Don't call it Guads. It's called Guadalajara. No one calls it Guads.
No,
That's my personal favorite.
Guadalajara?
See? That's why, you know,
I love the salsa there.
So
The salsa bar was good. I liked it when they had the salsa bar.
Salsa El Guadalajara or Farlito.
I grew up in Excelsior, so
Yeah.
I would always go to El Farlito up until there was a fire. That's how old I am. There was a fire, and then everyone had to go across the street to Guadalajara, and I just stayed at Guadalajara.
Did they rename it El Farlito? So, all right.
Hey,
so,
man.
Okay, what about chips? Okay,
Who
so you guys
let
talk
this
about
guy in the house?
What about chips? Guaz has the best chips.
They both charge now, if you know. I don't know.
It's all DoorDash these days. Sorry.
Best chips.
It's either Guaz or it's Taqueria San Bruno. Or, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna throw Chipotle in that bitch too. Because they put crack in their chips.
Their guac is pretty good.
Their guac is good, but their
guac is
chips
pretty
are good
good.
because there's a hint of lime or something.
there is, but I feel like it's not consistent. Like sometimes they're super salty.
Yeah, there's
Fuck
one
yeah,
that's super
Evan, fuck
salty,
them.
and then the other ones are like, I have
Chipotle.
I mean, you gotta have consistency.
You gotta have consistency.
I wanted to talk about this. I went to Chipotle the other day, spent $30. Can you guess what I walked away with?
Oh, we seen the receipt. It was one burrito with extra meat.
One bowl with extra meat and chips.
What?
$30.
That's
Yo,
absurd.
Chipotle. No.
If you're ever in the Colma area, there's a bar called Malloy's, and there's a food truck called Las Pencas that's parked in front. They have good birria. They got good crispy tacos. They have carne asada fries. All the hits, and it's a little green food truck that's right near a cemetery. So take it to go.
Yeah. Did he do a body roll?
I was.
He did it, but he like fell asleep.
My mouth was getting moist. Yeah, my mouth was getting moist when that was happening. I'm sorry.
This is good.
I'm always my scale is based on like if they have lengua, and then how good is the lengua.
You do lengua?
I'm strictly
I have to
lengua.
agree with Evan.
Oh,
The lengua
shit.
is one of the most
Let's
tender-
go.
Wait,
Me and you, we got this going.
I don't want meat that can taste me back.
What about tripas? Do you do tripas?
I don't know.
I don't try.
It's tripe basically, but it's like fried horn.
I think for me, lengua, like if they have it, I'm always going to get it, and so I just don't bother with anything else if it's
I
available.
like what you're saying.
And if they don't have it, like I'm instantly judging. So
We should do
would you say
a lingua off on the show. Everyone come in.
I am here for that.
Everyone come in with
That's
love
lengua,
language.
and then we can like taste test it.
Yes. Hey, you gotta come too. So we'll get a fourth mic.
super strong, bro.
A lingua off. I don't even like lingua, but
Somebody needs to
I'm
make a restaurant called that, and they only serve lengua-based products.
So Evan and I are gonna do a collab. It's gonna be called Love Language.
oh, that's terrible.
It's all tongue.
That is
So
now
bad
his
that it's
worst
good.
design he hates. That is now ranking on number one.
Not sure I can do the teas, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure Gus can help with that.
Helvetica.
Nah, we're going
Everything.
Ariel. We're going way big for this bitch. Man,
Cosmic Goth.
Cosmic God. So, Gus.
I'm just very grateful because like I've watched you grow, and then being, I don't want to say a competitor brand, but being like a brother brand, watching you grow, like this motherfucker hit another home run, like consistently, because you make all your designs and how you come up with things. Like recently I was looking at the Warriors, and it was the Star Wars ones. I was like, oh, this guy did it. This guy, like the Misfit one, like I have favorites that stick in the back of my head. Like I said, that the SF with all the pigeons on it, that's one of my favorites. It was all a dream. How it was like tapered off, right?
Yeah, that was so there was a time when, so that font's called Avant-Garde, and there was a time when that was just popping. Like, is that kind of like throwback mid-century modern thing? And it was like, I was obsessed with it. And yeah, that is still one of my favorite designs though, because it took a lot of time, and I respect things that take a lot of time. So
That was a Karma Loop contest, wasn't it?
no, but it was popular on Karma Loop. You know.
So are you gonna do anything with Ripstop? I know you mentioned Ripstop before.
I love that you even said that because I love Ripstop.
I have no idea what that is. Could you explain to me what Ripstop?
Okay, so Ripstop is the material where it's like nylon, but it's like the grid.
Yeah,
it's like
you can see the
so you
lines.
can't. So the point of it being
okay,
Ripstop
okay,
is if
okay.
it were to tear, it's not going to tear past the line.
It would stop.
At the rip.
Rip
Correct.
would
Thus,
stop.
as the name would suggest. Yeah,
oh
so-
my God, I'm learning
But
so much.
It's a dope material. Like I just
It is.
love it. I think it's not used enough. And I think with more technical products, I would like to incorporate it. Alphanumeric used it a lot, which was why
Right.
I kind of have an affinity towards it. So, yes, I would love to incorporate that.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
You are also a fan of the Ripstop.
Yeah, dude, I love Ripstop. It's just because of the feel of it and also the look of it. You know?
It's a great
Yeah,
product.
It'll look good on I think I have a jacket that's Ripstop. So
Yeah, we did one nylon, not a snapback, but a strap back that was
Like a
all
5-handle.
Ripstop. Yeah, 5-handle or something.
man,
When watching you, when I right when I know you kind of like you did it is when you had a New Era account for your hats. That for us streetwear guys, like having a New Era account was like you did it, dog.
So
we had an Ebbets.
okay, so that's
Brody,
that's
let's move
technically
on.
not true. Back to my guy John Barreto.
47 all day.
So yeah, he's a 47 now, but like I kind of piggybacked on his account.
Smart as fuck.
And then we got some. He, good dude, salt of the earth guy. He's like, hey, just come in here. I'll get you that little gold-blooded, New Era fitted 5950. Let's go. And then we did a couple more, and it was
amazing.
great. So I shouts to John for sure.
I mean, you know what? Shout out to you, and I'm sure there's way more to come.
Let's do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, look for your Ripstop gold-blooded coach jacket that's gonna drop.
When I heard Ripstock, I thought it was like tearaway pants. I was like, is that what they're talking about this whole time?
Like the old N ones.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, tearaway pants represent adapt completely because you're adapting to the heat.
Aha.
True. We should have done a pair of those at some point.
Yeah.
And just wrapping up the pod, anything you want to share, anything we should be on the lookout for besides the book, besides more classic designs, anything that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I think certainly the book, I'm pretty excited about that. It's something that is very different, right? It's a whole other product. I hope that our customers enjoy it and, enjoy reading about the story and stuff. But other than that, I don't forecast stuff. Like I don't have seasons. I don't have like this roadmap. It's just kind of like whatever happens. So I appreciate anyone who supports the brand and kind of that's what keeps us going and keeping the creativity flowing. But I think that I think just check the website. We always have we drop a couple things a week. So yeah.
ETA and the book.
We're shooting so I'm actually talking to this partner. We're gonna do this kind of like, it's not Kickstarter, but it's Kickstarter-esque type of project, and then we're gonna have all these tiers, maybe do some different collabs.
Bro, fund me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really cool launch, though. I think that's different than anything we've ever done. So I think we're shooting for like February, March. So
Just a guess,
coming up.
The higher tiers, is the book going to be gold-plated?
I mean, we don't have the funds for that.
It'll be a rip tear cover. Rip tear.
But the idea
Sorry, I don't
is
know
that we're
shit.
gonna like partner with just dope brands that we respect and like just
Yeah.
kind of do stuff that you can only get
That's amazing.
if you do this tier. So that's the idea behind it. Yeah.
Rommel, what you got?
Closing words. I have to say, Evan, I'm happy to have met you.
Likewise.
Knowing your story and just hearing how everything has unfolded is amazing, and I am in awe of your strength
Aha.
because of what you fought through
Oh, yeah.
with your personal sickness and you overcoming that and still maintaining a strong brand and standing when the dust settles. And now, with the book and everything, just kind of compiling it all and looking at that body of work, it's just hats off to you, man.
No, I super appreciate that. I don't ever like have expectations for the brand, or it's just like I have a job, right? Put out product. You hope people like it. I mean, it's always. I mean, you guys know, right? It's like having a brand is you don't you have no idea if anyone's gonna like the stuff that you're putting out. Like every single time you put something out,
Right.
people could say, "Oh, this sucks. This is horrible." You just never know. So
Yeah. Shout out to
It's-
the backstock in my garage.
shout out to the piles of boxes that I have. But
Shout out to the black and yellow bins.
black and yellow.
Shout out to Bad
Bliss, let's go.
Bliss. Bad Bliss coming out in 2023.
Mad bum.
John Brado picked up for the vintage dead stock. You know, it's pristine
Got
condition.
you.
No dry rot. But yeah. So
Single
it's
stitch.
It's on the anvil tag. Sorry,
man.
vintage nerdiness. But
Yeah.
Super
it's-
vintage.
Yeah.
No, but I super appreciate you guys. You know, it's always fun talking about the brand, just shooting the shit. So yeah, I really appreciate. Let's do it again. You know, go for a trifecta.
2023 lingua off. Lingua off.
That's actually a requirement in order for me to return
Yes,
this podcast.
sounds so good.
There just has to be like lengua just set up, ready to go.
I think it's gross, but I'm gonna rock with it.
No,
I'm gonna
what about a
rock with-
taste test?
Blasphemous.
Is it? You
Blasphemous.
have to guess what type of meat it is.
I don't know. I'm a
Is
picky.
it gonna be carnitas?
I'm a picky
And they're
fat
all-
boy.
and There's just gonna be all lingua.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the lengua.
I am super appreciative of your time. Adapt Plus, is that still?
Yeah, so Dot Plus, we do like that's a subset of the site where we do charitable stuff. So 100% of the
amazing.
proceeds go to, we do like cancer research, we do like women's aid,
BLM.
disaster stuff, BLM, Asian hate, just all kinds of stuff. So it's whatever we feel strongly about. We'll usually either be a collaboration or we'll just put out a shirt or something and then donate the proceeds to some organization.
What's the website for the people who don't know?
AdaptClothing.com, Instagram @Adapt, Twitter @Adapt, Facebook I think like /Adapt Clothing.
What about your TikTok? Where do you do the?
You know, we have a TikTok, but I don't use it
You don't talk
because I'm old.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
Shout out to Evan. This is episode
Shout out to
155, FREE99 podcast.
Appreciate you guys. Cheers. Let's go.
Hey, rum and coke all
Love,
day.
love. Roman Coke. Sabrina Tucker is the
Great
truth.
choice, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a throwback. You
Yeah,
know?
it's
People,
like a, it's like
people
a
don't respect the
smooth-
rum and
Yeah,
coke.
it's a smooth kind of chill.
Crudité. Peace.
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 Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you.
Fun.